very much. Go ahead, sir. Please continue.
All right, so my question is this, and I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. I'm transferring my portfolio to you guys, AMC and GameStop, and I'm direct registering my shares with you guys where they're in my name. But I have to get some clarification on something because I can't seem to get a direct answer. For me to remove my stock, my securities that I have, so AMC and GME, and basically what I'm asking is this: do I have to request them in certificate form for them to actually be removed from Cede? Because what it seems like to me is if they are direct registered electronically in book form, then they are still somehow a part of Cede. And I'm trying to remove them completely out. So do I need to actually do something with you guys on top of the fact that I've transferred to you to remove them from the DTCC?
All right. There are only two ways how to transfer shares from another brokerage firm to Computershare. Okay. And Computershare will not initiate the transfer. So on our end, we're just going to receive the shares. So the option one is you have to contact your broker because they have to initiate the transfer via DTC.
No, I understand that. No, my question is, I'm sorry, really quick, just to make sure that we're on the same page. I've already done that, and they're sending them to you. My question. So Fidelity's already doing it. You guys are going to have them additionally in my account. Like, there's nothing you're going to need to do. My question to you is, how do I understand that I'm transferring to a transfer agent, which is you all, which means that these shares are going to be held in direct name of mine. However, they're going to be electronically registered. So my question is this: is for me to have them removed from Cede Co.'s control, do I have to request certificates, or is it the fact that I've transferred to Computershare, is that enough to remove it from the DTC where they are capable of touching it? Does that make sense what I'm asking you?
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically transferring all the shares in your account zero balance, with your brokerage, that would close your account.
Correct.
And no need to request for a stock certificate.
Okay, so again, I'm trying to make sure I'm getting an answer to the question I'm asking. When I transferred my 1,000 shares of AMC to you guys, so my portfolio is going to have 1,056 shares of AMC. When you guys got those shares, Fidelity had to locate those shares and send them to you because you guys don't like to have pre-registered shares, is my understanding. I talked to somebody there already. But my question that I'm asking very specifically is, when you guys receive these shares from the brokers that are transferring, so for example, if I transfer some from Webull that I have as well, is that stock certificate or the security identification, however you guys list that, when it gets moved to Computershare, is Cede Co. completely removed from the equation, or are they still a part of the relationship? And if so, what is the additional step I need to take as the registered owner to make it so that they are removed from the equation?
All right. So the Cede Co., they are just like let's say the middleman.
Correct.
The Cede Co. is the DTC, Depository Trust Company.
Correct.
Right? So when on our end, we're just going to receive the shares. And once we receive the shares, they are not part of the equation, sir.
That's what my understanding was. So
Instead, what will appear on the system is that, it's going to be a DTC transfer. That's the information that will appear on the system.
That's what my understanding of it was. So if I could try to simplify it for an idiot like me that doesn't work in finance like you do. So basically for someone that doesn't understand the full complexity of the DTC and Cede Co and how they're holding the master certificates, basically the DTC/Cede Co is the transfer agent for all of the stocks that are traded across the board, unless you are to transfer them out through your broker to the holding transfer agent, basically. And when that happens, your stock that you own, whatever the number of securities that is, no longer has part, and the DTC no longer has to touch them because they've been removed, because they are the middleman between the shareholder and the actual issuer of the security, correct? So now you guys are holding it for me. However, if I really want to do something, I may need to send them back to a broker, correct?
All right, sir. DTC is the clearing house. They are the clearing agency that holds shares in custody for the meantime. In the process of transition of transferring the shares from the broker to the transfer agent, or vice versa.
Okay. Well, you've definitely answered my question, so I'm sorry if I've made it more complicated than it needed to be, because like you said, once Computershare gets it and it's in our name, there's no reason, they're not a piece of it. And realistically, to what you were saying, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no reason for me to request a certificate, because that would just be for me to have one to show, basically. It would make it harder for me to sell that security if it was certificate, because the electric book form makes it easier for it to move through the market, correct?
Yes, and also two things you have to consider. Number one, not all companies are issuing paper certificate.
Correct.
Because most of the public companies, they prefer, DRS, book entry shares, electronic. Because stock certificates are old-fashioned. Because if you're going to request for a stock certificate, what will happen is that the stock certificate will be mailed to you instead.
Gotcha.
And then once you have the stock certificate, you have an option of either, keeping the stock certificate in your possession, or you have to send the stock certificate to the transfer agent or to the broker.
Gotcha.
But you have an option of keeping the stock certificate in your possession, because when the broker issues the stock certificate, we, the transfer agent, will have a record of that, because they are, all the stock certificates issued are being registered. So we will have a record of that certificate number.
Gotcha. Okay.
And stock certificate is also the old-fashioned. For example, in the event that the certificate was lost, destroyed, or stolen, there's a fee to replace it.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's basically...
So the quickest way is the DRS or DTC transfer.
Okay, so basically it's like the stock certificate would be like somebody that is old school that likes to use checks still, and the DRS is something that is people that like to use debit cards and Apple Pay.
Electronic.
Gotcha.
Yes, DRS or DTC or electronic transfer. Stock certificate is you're going to keep the paper, the actual shares in your possession, that before you can sell, before you can transfer, you have to send it by mail.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, I think you've completely answered the questions that I have. I really do appreciate you taking the time to kind of educate me. It means a lot, and I really do. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Anything else I can help you?
No, I think we're, actually there is one more. It's a really dumb question, but I'm serious when I ask it. So if I want to sell some securities through you, and it's over, please laugh when I say it, $1 million a security, how does that process work? Do I need to call that in or mail something in, or... Because I know my understanding from reading the manuals, there's a $100,000 security limit for normal orders. Is that accurate?
At Computershare, if the shares are in book entry, you have many ways how you can sell. Okay.
Okay.
For example, I'm going to use the GameStop. Okay. From GameStop, if the shares are in book entry form, you can sell shares over the phone through a sales representative. But there's a limit. We can only sell a maximum of $25,000 per transaction.
Okay.
The second option is we can also use the automated voice response system. On the voice response system, you can sell a maximum of $100,000 per transaction. On the web, you can sell a maximum of $1 million. It will not exceed $1 million. Okay.
Okay.
If you're selling the shares, over $1 million, the only way is to submit the request in writing.
And how would you do that? And what would it need to say?
Just write a letter. For example, please sell X number of shares, and then take the instruction where to put in the chat. Please send the chat to the answer, please.
Your phone's breaking up. I'm so sorry. I can barely hear you. Can you hear me?
There are three options how to receive the proceeds. You have to get a medallion guarantee stamp on the letter.
Okay, and that's if it's at that. So again, it's better to get this done before the price were even close to that. Or do I need to get the stamp either way?
The stamp is only required if you're going to sell shares and you want to do the direct deposit.
Okay.
And you don't want to wait 10 days. Right?
Okay. And what was the stamp called one more time?
It's called a medallion guarantee stamp.
Okay, medallion guarantee stamp.
You only get that if there's no bank information on file and you want to do the direct deposit.
Okay.
Okay. That's the time you have to get a medallion guarantee stamp.
Okay, that makes sense. So if it's already on file, you don't need to worry about it, but that's a 6 to 10 day on direct deposit.
No, if it's for initial setup.
Okay, gotcha.
It's your first time to set up your bank information. We have to wait 10 days before the bank information will take effect.
Okay.
So after 10 days, that's the time you can sell and do that direct deposit.
Is there a limit on what we can direct deposit daily out of Computershare? If I want to go and do a
There's no limit.
Okay.
There's no limit. The limit is on the amount of the shares that will be sold. For example, online you can only sell the limit is $1 million, right?
Yeah.
If it's over $1 million, the only option is in writing, and you have to give us instruction where to send the proceeds. Either
Gotcha.
Check by regular mail, send the check to you by overnight courier, or by direct deposit.
Okay. And okay, that's the smartest thing. And where am I going to mail that letter to?
To Computershare.
Okay. Computershare.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Is it the same one on my my account info that I got when I got my AMC? That same address? I believe it's a PO box. Let me check. Hold on. Just want to make sure it goes where.
And sir, are you interested in getting text message alerts?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Also, to verify, it's PO Box 505000, Louisville, Kentucky 40233. That's where I would be mailing the letter to.
Yes, sir.
And does it need to go to a specific department? Oh, awesome, I just got your text, thank you. Does it need to go to a specific department?
You can put it care of shareholder services.
Okay, care of shareholder services. Okay, thank you. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I believe what's going to make the most sense for me is to send you guys a letter. And that, how long does that letter stand on file for you? Is it 30 days? And then after 30 days, I would need to send you another one?
The letter to sell?
Yes. So for example, let's say that I wanted to, in writing, put a letter to sell in for you because I was expecting it to be over $1 million. How does that work? Would I call and say, okay, I want to exercise that, or how does that work?
Sales request in writing may take 5 business days to process.
And if I'm not,
And once the shares are sold, there's a 2 business day settlement period.
okay. So if I'm not specifying, I guess my confusion now is if I'm not specifying the price that I would like to sell at, but I send a letter in so that it could be outside of the 1 million because that's the only way to do it, how is the price decided at what I sell at? And I understand.
If it's in writing, the only method we're using is what we call the batch order.
Okay, I understand
Batch
that.
order will give you the average weighted price, not the market price, the closing price, but the average price
Okay.
of the day that the shares are sold.
Okay, so I will. Okay, that's what I was expecting. So I don't have the flexibility of selecting what I sell at, but I have the flexibility of selling over that number. And because you guys do batch orders daily, it's going to be the average out of however many shares you sold in that batch, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I thought I understood that. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. You have literally answered every single question that I have and have been curious about. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.